David's podcast. David's podcast. His guests. Your fun time.
Thank you, Sylvain and Josh, for getting to speak. Hello, getting and ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to another episode of David's podcast. This is our 34th episode, and we're coming to you inside this beautiful radio station of Lancer Radio, inside this beautiful campus of Penn City College. And I'm your host, David Salwar, and I'm with my guys ready for ABC7. Today is a beautiful day in Los Angeles, speaking nothing but beautiful sunny skies. But however, the rain will come back next week. But it will be Wednesday and Thursday. Back to you, Gaby. ABC7. When it's yours. Get good guys, race. And we see you tonight, 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 11 on ABC7 as we're recording the show. And I can sometimes be joined by my beautiful co-host, Michelle. Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday, David. Thank you for having me today.
Likewise. And today we have another two guests, especially a girl from the Decoded Brain club here at PCC. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to this podcast for the very first time, our boys, Mason and Elijah. Fellas, welcome to this podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. It's our pleasure to have you both here on Gabe's podcast. Especially, can't wait to talk about especially your club, especially the work that you guys do, and I'm looking forward to this interview. So, all right. So, Elijah and Mason, are you guys ready for the topic sequences?
Of course.
Excited.
Yeah, me too. All right. So here we go. So your first topic, Mason and Elijah, is Decoded Brain, and your first question is, can you guys tell us about Decoded Brain and how got your starts before the club? I will start with Mason and Elijah.
For me, for the Decoded Brain, it was the first time I actually met Elijah, originally in Data Science Club. I was doing ICC work for them here at Pasadena, and Elijah was speaking about his vision of this organization that he had, and throughout the time that he was telling me about it, he was actually leaving the original club of data science, and I wanted to join him because the way he described and the past about him, it really inspired me, and I felt like this connection with him that I wanted to follow through with him. And from there, I kind of just connected with him to the point where I believed in his dream and I wanted to make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The Decoded Brain kind of started, it came from a personal place. We really loved research. We were a small research group in the Data Science Club. And the Data Science Club meets like an hour. Most clubs on campus meet for like an hour every week.
Right.
We were meeting 3 hours in the library. And then eventually they became 4 hours.
Wow.
And we eventually realized like, oh, we're studying 4 hours in the library. And then we go study somewhere else for longer. And this is during the time we met Mason. And I felt we were kind of growing too much and we couldn't fit in the Data Science Club because at that point we felt like, oh, we're going to turn the Data Science Club into a brain club, and it's probably best we just do our own thing. And that's around the time, we met Mason, and Mason made it clear to us, he's like, I want to be a part of something real, something genuine. I want to be a part of a community that cares for the members and their engagement, where people come and they feel like involved and cared for. And I was like, I'm all for that. I think science can't happen unless you have first established a culture of respect and care. And I think that's where we kind of agreed on and worked together from there.
And how long has this been a club now, like, for the Decoded Brain? How long have you guys been together for that?
1 semester.
Well,
yeah.
So we've been doing research for over a year now. So it was like fall 2024. Mm-hmm. And then we became an official club fall 2025. Mm-hmm. And so this is now our second official semester as a club.
Oh, okay.
But we've known each other for about a year now.
Oh, that's good. You guys set like a good foundation beforehand.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And then also like the meetings, do they run for like 4 hours still?
Oh.
Mason, how long do they run?
For like It used to be 4 hours, but now every Friday we do 8 hours a day, and our members are
Hours?
so committed.
Oh my
And even
gosh.
after that, it's like it's 9 to 5. We still go out to go study.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us are studying till like 2 a.m. still. Because we find locations, we're always looking for the best cafe around to see who's open the longest.
If campus didn't kick us out, we would stay longer. That's a statement.
Exactly.
That's
So
a big statement.
PCC is hearing this. I hopefully you give us a building.
You hear that, PCC? This podcast is already up to far start. All right. I don't know how to fall with it. All right. Mason Elijah. Before I lose track in this podcast, your second question is, what you guys do? I mean, I think you already answered this question, but I'll ask anyways. What you guys do in Decoded Brain and your team doing research into brains while exploring at the same time? I'll start with Elijah.
Oh wait. Could you explain the question more?
Okay, I'll go. So, what you guys do in Decoded Brain and your team doing research into brains while exploring at the same time?
Well, explain at the same time.
Yeah. So right now, we're doing a couple things. So we got the first brain scanner on campus last semester.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yes. So we worked for it, and we got ICC to buy it for us. And then this semester, we got Professor Jared Ashcroft's consent to use part of his grant money to buy us much more professional headset. So now we have 3 on campus, which means brain research is actually possible on PCC's campus for the first time. And this is a big deal because, Caltech is down the street and they're leading in neuroscience and neurotech research.
Right.
And so now PCC students down the street, we don't even have a neuroscience class on this campus.
At all?
Wow.
At all. Well,
What?
we're a community college,
Yeah.
so people are expecting us to do your fundamental biology and then transfer out, and so there's not this expectation. But there's a lot of go-getters here who want to be like, hey, I want to start early. I want to learn
Right.
about the brain even before I transfer. And so once we got that, now we work with. We used to work with open source data, so that was data collected from other universities. And we would do data science and data analysis to process that data and come to conclusions of what's happening in the brain states and so forth. But now we can collect our own data on campus. So there's a lot of different projects. We basically, we never have one project at a time. Every semester we do, last semester we had 10. This semester it looks like we're going to finish off with 20.
Wow.
Yes. So there's a lot going on.
That's a lot. Go ahead, Mason.
Oh, and who was it for? What was the question for the exploring? For
Yes.
me, I don't really explore the side of research. What I do is kind of find the expansion of Decoded Brain. So I look for the opportunities, especially here on campus. I think for me, I do genuinely care for a lot of the students on campus. And from my own experience growing up as a kid, I wasn't always the best students.
Right.
And so I'm kind of nurturing all the students, all the members in Decoded Brain. They're like my children. I want to provide for them as much. Yeah, I tell a lot of people to laugh about it. Yeah, I'm very nurturing. So my whole goal.
It's true. It's true. He is very caring. He is very caring, and we all feel it.
It's I care so much about them that my whole goal is not for myself to succeed. I've got my own achievements already, and I feel like that makes me a great leader. So now I can provide my leadership to others by connecting them to the resources that they need. So if they need to work with a specific company or any type of organization or make a connection where I have to do the networking, I'm the business lead, so I
Right.
make that connection for them. And all I want is for them to succeed. So whatever resources they need, they come to me, and I'll get them. I'll try my best to get it for them.
I'd also like to add to what he's saying is one thing that's I would say is very unique about Decoded Brain is we don't work in isolation. A lot of the students, if you go to the data science club or you go to other clubs on campus, you'll find data science students,
Right.
as you would expect, right? You go to the film club, you'll find film students,
Correct.
as you would expect. But in Decoded, you'll find econ majors, poli-sci majors, you'll find business majors, you'll find neuroscientists, you'll find data scientists, you'll find the whole everyone.
Right.
Because as we've established early on, is the mission to solve the brain is not a one-man show. it's not going to be one neuroscientist, because if one neuroscientist is working on the research and then Mason connects that person with another researcher who's doing similar work, and that connection happens, you've created a work relationship that could last a lifetime. And that is an opportunity that a neuroscientist on their own might not realize. It's a human thing that someone else's perspective can help out with. So that's been an essential role for us.
Oh, wow.
Before I ask my question, can we get our brain scanned? Or is that like...
Coming this semester.
Okay.
So yes, we can do brain scans on this campus. So it's non-invasive, so don't worry. It's called EEG. It stands for electroencephalography. Basically records the electrical activity on the scalp from the outer layer.
Oh,
wow.
So it'll pick up what's happening on the cerebral cortex, and we can process that data and kind of plot it and show you what you're study different aspects of the brain.
that's so cool. See you guys next semester.
Yeah, we're seeing it.
You're more than welcome.
Also, like, I kind of wanted to ask, because I know, like, the brain is very complex, and I've noticed that you guys say, you mentioned, like, using a specific software to, like, understand the brain better and, like, psychology. Can you explain that a little bit more and, like...
So for software, we actually build our own software.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow.
So the cool thing is we get together, like I said, it's interdisciplinary. So even on the research side, we get neuroscientists and bio majors and doctors, students who want to become doctors, who want to do med school, connected with engineers and data scientists and so forth. And so the engineers are heavily focused on aspects like signal processing. And so we use, a lot of libraries that are made with Python to when we collect the data, we then load it into our computers, and then we start doing signal processing to clean that data, because brain data is really dirty. It has a whole bunch of stuff in it, so we have to remove all that to get just the pure brain signal, and then after that we can plot it and start doing an analysis, and that's when you like hand it off to the neuroscience majors to be like, okay, what can you see? Help us out here. My job is done. So yeah, it's definitely cross-disciplinary.
And then, yeah. Do you have anything to add for this?
For me, I do understand what Elijah's talking about. Just kind of like giving the work to the other person. Like, all right, here's a Rubik's Cube that's all messed up, but solve it. But for me, I don't have like the best explanation for it, just because I'm more of the business side of things.
Oh,
But
yeah.
if anybody is like out there who's a business person who does need like some type of advice to how to get involved in like the same position I'm in,
Yeah.
I would recommend learning as much as possible about what we're working on. I do understand like with with EEG, how it works, because it's a product that we're working with, so I need to understand like how I'm going to sell it off or pitch it off to other companies. So I do recommend whatever product or whatever like type of environment you're working with, understand it as well from every aspect.
Yeah, Mason actually got us free equipment. He actually got in contact with the CEO of a company who makes EEGs.
Yeah.
And he liked what we were doing so much that he actually sent us a free one.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, he works he owns his own company in the UK. He's a really great guy. We're always having a little chat once in a while. Shout out to Idler. Thank you so much.
Shout out. By the way, my first fire, he wants a CT scan. I do. Hi, Mr. Fire.
You guys are all welcome.
Hey.
Hello.
I can say, hi, Mr. Elijah. Yes, I want my own CT scan because I keep getting a brain CT scan, and I could give it to. So let us know so we could have our own scan in our brains.
The beginning of fall, we can do it. Sure, we can do it.
We will check back with you.
I'm gonna
guys
need a
as well.
smaller headset for that guy, but
We'll work on it.
we'll make it work.
We'll make it work.
We'll make it work.
I love that. That's so cute.
Thank you, Messi. Especially, I'm a virus scholar on this podcast. This podcast, and this is your work podcast. Thank you for my podcast. All right. Virus scholar of this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now, your third question, Mason and Elijah, is, can you tell, what projects are you guys working on on Decoded Brain that you'd like to announce here, exclusively on Davis Podcast?
Ooh.
There's a lot.
Okay,
There's
so-
a lot of projects.
So we have, I would say there's some things that stand out. So Cortexo was kind of our spotlight project from last semester. So we created a dress, we embedded LED lights in it, and then that headset that we bought, we connected it to the LED lights, and then we mapped brain data in real time to the brightness of the lights. So it was like a organic light show. in real time. And then we had a performer, Anita Rodriguez, from on this campus. She's a musician, and she wore the dress and sung and had a performance in the dress. So it was just this huge collaboration. So that was a really exciting, fun project. It was a very engineering, like for engineers, it was pretty challenging, and it taught us a lot. This semester, I would say one of the new, like, we have 2 projects that I would say will contribute to even more projects. One is the Mesa Labs program. So Decoded Brain helped establish the Mesa Labs program on campus, which now uses our model to help students that are brain research that are doing student projects outside of brain research. And then we also started a UC San Diego chapter to expand our operations to San Diego, to do more projects there. So it's basically like what we're building, like software-wise, is like a social media of research, so that because people think about it, they're like, oh, this is pretty boring. It's a lot of reading and all that stuff, but we've kind of found a way to make it more engaging, where students can kind of showcase their work and interact. And so that's been really helpful. So we have a lot of projects going on. Yeah.
Aligning of works.
Yes, indeed.
All right, go ahead, Mason.
For me, like I would say with the business side of things, I'm really focusing on kind of the aspect of expanding like our organization when it comes to these other companies, like deepening our connections with them. Just because I see the opportunity of us expanding from not just like an institution, but also becoming like a non-profit.
Right.
And so that's kind of my plan at the moment. So I'm doing a lot of research, not just on PCC, like their bylaws of how they work, but also at UC San Diego as well. Right. I'm trying to create this strong foundation for us before we start moving on to the next step. And that's kind of my own project of what I'm working on. And I have, of course, my little mini projects that I'm working on campus right now. Nice. And even though they're mini, they're quite large. They're quite large for other students.
Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of my situation right there.
Nice.
Yeah, so speaking of expanding, do you guys ever plan to like expand outside of the US? Because I feel like
I would love that. That's for sure. Recently, me and Mason were talking about like, well, where do we go from here? You know, we're already at 2 chapters, and UCSD is a challenge. You know, we have to learn how to operate now in a bigger environment, a 4-year university. They have different needs. They have different skill sets, and so we have to attend to those and make sure the students have what they need. I think that what we learn from expanding to San Diego will give us hopefully the confidence to go beyond that. Mm-hmm. Things kind of snowball, so if you do something once, it becomes a lot easier to do it the next time and the next time. And like Mason was saying, we're writing out the bylaws and we're documenting how we do things to make it easier to for other people to learn, the decoded way. Right. And so I would hope, that would one day be able to go beyond borders. And I just care that if we do ever expand beyond anywhere, that people that those members feel as a part of it as if they were here. That's all that matters. That they're not a separate entity. Rather, they're part of the Decoded Brain community. They're actively doing research with us. I think that is huge. That is huge for us.
That is huge. All right, now, by the way, speaking of San Diego, I want to give a quick shout out to my San Diego friend Russell Minez. Speaking of Russell, I hope you just heard what Mason Elijah said. San Diego speaking, I know you represent San Diego from the 619. All right. Again, now your second topic was mostly Mason speaking. While I was doing my research, Mason, I know that you're big into MMA research with yes, MMA research talk on this podcast. Your second topic is MMA research. Your fourth question, Mason, is how you got into wrestling and MMA.
For me, wrestling and MMA. Well, I think it was I was going as a teenager and as a kid as well. I was a scared little kid, and so I would get afraid of every type of confrontation, just like constant bullying. But eventually, I started recognizing some fighters, not by their who they are as a fighter, but what they represent. So like Khabib or Islam, and how disciplined they were, or when it comes to like Arman Tsarukyan, the way that they kept their, how do I say, it's just like this image or like this hero figure, and it really inspired me to wanting to be like that, of not a man who wants people, how do I say, not a man that people fear, but someone that they respect. And I think that was a really big inspiration for me. And so I started learning how to fight for self-defense, but eventually with all the experiences I had around other fighters, it changed me a lot. And I was like training at this underground gym for about, I would say 4 years. And it would be that only like 4 years of, I would work and go to the gym, go to the gym every day. So I didn't really have any social interactions outside of that. And that's how I became so disciplined in fighting.
You want to add to that, Elijah?
To his career?
his career.
I think Mason is very active when it comes to fighting. I used to fight when I was a teenager. I used to do martial arts called Kyokushinkai. Mason, you do MMA. And the one thing I can add to that is fighting really teaches you a lot of discipline. And it definitely builds your confidence. You know, when you're in the ring and it's you one-on-one with someone else, there's no going back.
Correct.
And I feel like, you know, learning to tolerate that confrontation, it doesn't just, it's not something you just learn in the ring, but it's also something you take to your everyday life. One thing I think the biggest thing that I've learned from fighting is I have a huge tolerance to be uncomfortable. Like, I could be stressed, I could be having a bad day, and I will not give up. I will not go to bed. I have a huge tolerance for that. And that is like, if like a lot of the subjects, you know, we tackle, you know, physics, signal processing, you know, all these things we do, it's stressful, you know, the work we do, you know, managing all these students, it's a lot of work. But I would say that tolerance has been built up over time. I'm not going home anytime soon.
Wait, have you tried to use like his brain before and after fighting?
Oh, I wish. That would be super cool.
We talked about that before.
100%.
That would be awesome. The only problem is muscle movements get picked up with the scanner, and they like pollute the data set. So it's very hard to get past those and then see the actual brain activity. It's actually a huge ongoing subject of research to find out how can we record people's brain activity while they're doing like active movement. So soon. Maybe Mason will be the first.
Davis podcast.
Oh, sorry?
I said, well, you hear, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard it here exclusively on Davis podcast.
Exclusively, yes.
It's going to be the first time.
All right. I'll go ahead, Miss. Is there anything else you want, or should we go to the next question?
No, that should be good right there.
All right. Now, your next question, Miss, is your fifth question. How often you fight in MMA and wrestling?
Oh, I would say at least 4 to 5 times a year for jiu-jitsu, and when it comes to striking, at least 2 times a year. Just because when you fight, it does take a lot of damage to your body, and after like just cutting so much weight, you just kind of have this mental defeat of just like wanting to eat again, and you're just starving because of after all the water's gone out of your body, and like just missing food so much, it takes time to recover. So I would say only about 2 times when it comes to striking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Elijah.
I don't fight anymore. my fights are decoded.
He's retired.
I'm retired.
That's funny.
Are you worried about getting a brain injury?
No, I'm not really worried about that. That's funny that you mentioned that. I have a concussion right now, so I can actually feel it. Like but no, I've broken my hand before. I've broken I'm not broken, but I tore my eye, so retinal tears and all that. Said laser surgery, and honestly, after all like the damages, you're not afraid anymore. You're more cautious, and it kind of teaches you a lesson of actually becoming a better fighter. Because now you have to recognize like of the mistakes you're making and not to put yourself in more dangerous positions.
All right. Now your sixth question, Miss is there any upcoming fights you want to announce here exclusively on the podcast?
Yeah, I believe I'll be fighting in the next 3 months for my gym, CMMA. My coach is still looking for a fight for me. I was supposed to fight in March, but I wasn't able to continue training for the past 3 months because of other issues.
Right.
So we're going to be talking about another upcoming fight. So you'll most likely see me fight in the summer.
Oh boy, make sure you keep your eye on it. And maybe I know it will probably be Netflix.
It'll be on YouTube.
YouTube? Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Do we get to sponsor you?
Yeah. Yes, you'll have a Decoded on my...
Yeah, Decoded.
my
On his
shorts.
shorts.
I was going to say something else, but I didn't want to say... We'll keep you PG.
We're having so much fun. All right. Now you're time for the last courses. Mason Elijah, yes. This is my brand new English course video while I was doing the courses. And the topics, anyway, your 7 courses, Elijah and Mason, is who you guys look up to for brains and exploring the minds. I'll start either Elijah or Mason, whoever wants to answer first.
So I wouldn't say for me it was exploring like the brain and the mind, but just kind of pushing me to the direction of exploring my options rather than just focusing on what I was studying, such as business.
Right.
So I've met this man. His name was Tanner Harms. He was one of the biggest inspirations in my life because he was the first person to recognize who I was behind my whole character. And we had this huge connection with each other that he started like caring for me that I'd never seen anyone care for me before. And he was a Caltech researcher for
Right.
aerospace engineering, but he was also my wrestling coach, and he was a Division I wrestling coach. And so he was such an amazing figure to me that I would train so hard every day just for him because he was something like I never had in my life before.
Right.
And I think that's the person I looked up to the most, and he's the reason why he pushed me. He what did he tell me? He told me that he wanted me to focus on school and not to just focus on fighting constantly. So I came back just studying accounting, and then I ran into Elijah, and it just exploded. I'm
Wow.
shocked of what happened being part of Decoded now.
Wow. Now go ahead, Elijah.
Tanner's awesome, by the way. I've met Tanner. For me, it's interesting. I do want to say Warren McCullough because he is a neuroscientist and he built the cybernetics department at MIT. But someone I look up to is John von Neumann. John von Neumann is the scientist that invented computer architecture.
Wow.
He's also the inventor of game theory in economics. He's also contributed to quantum mechanics.
Wow.
And so I think he's an amazing person because, first of all, he's one of the last polymaths. And we don't really have those these days. So we tend to specialize a lot where we get to know something so well and we never get out of our lane. But you gotta exchange, and the problem
Correct.
with this is we all have our own jargon.
Correct.
And so like as an engineer, I have jargon, and I'll read a research paper in engineering and all's great, right? Super fun, super interesting. If you give me a research paper in biology, it is scary.
Oh my.
The words they use is just so different than what we use. Like everybody has their own language, their own jargon of terms they use for specific things.
Right.
And so I think the problem is, the age of the polymaths is over, and we need people to, explore different avenues, to be open to learning a bit about everything. And I think John von Neumann just did such a great job at that. He was a person who just loved to think. He was a bit of a machine, so maybe in that aspect, I don't think he wasn't the most social person, but as a scientist, he was ideal. He was ideal.
Do you have any books that I can read about him, or any website or something? I'm sorry, this
Ooh.
is so interesting.
So unfortunately for John von Neumann, he only has I think a 5-minute somewhat of an interview on YouTube that you can watch.
Oh, okay.
There's no books that he's written about his own life. There is a biography about him, just John von Neumann. But another biography that I would definitely recommend of how people become some of the greatest scientists ever, what their life is like and how they think about life, is It's called Surely You're Joking, Mr.
I
Feynman.
love that book.
That is
oh
amazing.
my gosh. I got obsessed with Feynman for a hot minute and I read that one.
That book is a game changer.
It really is.
Yeah, I wish more scientists documented their life the way he did, because I'm sure we could have learned a lot more.
Me too.
Yeah.
I need to read that book myself.
Yeah, Feynman, oh my gosh. He played the bongos. That was so cool.
I don't get how he did physics and all that at the same time. That guy had a secret.
Yeah.
All right, real quick,
Yes.
30 seconds. Your last question, Elijah mentioned, what's next for you guys in the club? 30 seconds.
Ooh, 30 seconds.
Real quick.
Mason, I'll give you 15 seconds.
Yeah, for us, I do want to expand Decoded Brain into a nonprofit in the future. It is one of my huge ideas. That me and Elijah actually talked about the vision of Decoded Brain, and it's kind of like the best way to put it is a community of science. And when he planted that seed in my mind, I just had this whole like 3D image of this seed, and I'm starting to plan out what it's going to build for Decoded. But I'm still in development for it.
Nice.
I think as we focus on the culture, it is natural that great research will come from that.
Nice. Good response. Anything else you want to miss real quick?
Do you guys have social media you guys want to share with the audience?
Oh, yes. Instagram.
Of course, we
Business
have
lead.
Yeah, we have Instagram, Decoding the Brain, and then we also have a LinkedIn as well. And I recommend checking out our website as well, just to see our innovations on there as well, and our board, just to kind of get an idea of who we are. I think that's the best way. We also have YouTube as well.
Nice. Guys, well, you can check out this podcast on YouTube, on my YouTube, right, at Gabriel Horse Angle. All right, Elijah Mason, I want to thank you guys for stopping by for Gabriel's podcast. Guys, was so much fun. Especially, I learned so much for you guys, and I want to thank you for coming on this podcast.
Thank you so much for having us.
And Michelle Joe as my co-host as always.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
We
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Elijah and Mason.
Thank you so much.
Brain
Right.
scan and fall.
Yes, Skyfall and fall. It will happen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for watching this 34th episode of Gary's podcast. And everyone, have a good weekend. We'll talk to you next Friday right here.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.